Pizzaria Fred faz ber.
Hi, Josh.
Hello.
I'm Nicole Bastos from CNN Brazil. It's a pleasure to be talking to you today. You have always had a very careful eye when choosing your projects. Even the more commercial ones, like the Hunger Games, had emotional substance. What convinced you that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 wouldn't just be a horror movie, but something with a deeper story?
That's a great question. When I met with Emma Tammy, the director, and she and I were talking about the script and talking about Mike and kind of the themes that we were going to be exploring. That's for me when I knew that it was going to be something that's cooler than just a horror film or just, a whatever. Because she wanted to make something that was touching on themes of loss, of regret, of obsession. And those are all things I think are really interesting to explore. And that combined with Blumhouse's vision for the building of the world, I thought was going to be a very weird and very cool combination. And it worked.
Great. Mike is a very human character who really resonate with the audience in the first film. What was like returning to this role, knowing the fans' expectations, and what did you want to explore about him in this new part of the story?
It was great coming back to Mike. I think that he went through a lot in the first movie. He's gone through a lot in his life. And I was excited because where he starts out in the second movie is a bit of a better place. Like he's kind of gotten some closure from his brother. He's trying to make a nice life for him and Abby. And so that was a nice moment of like, Mike's just trying to be a normal guy. And then he gets brought back into the madness of Freddy's and has to fight for his life yet again. But I think that for me, I'm excited for the fans to get a deeper dive into the Freddy's world. I think that in this movie, we go more into sort of the backstory of Vanessa with her dad. We go into sort of the history of Freddy's in ways. And you start to uncover new mysteries and new lies and darkness. I can't say too many things because they're like super intense about spoilers. But for me, getting to explore some more depths of Mike felt really good to do.
I heard you say that everything is bigger now in the second movie, the animatronics, the set. What were the new challenges this time compared to the first film for you in acting?
I think that there were a couple of sequences in this movie that there were a lot of animatronics with a lot of choreography, a lot of stunt work, and there were scenes that were very emotionally charged. So there were very long scenes that we shot over multiple weeks, and having to be like in that intense emotional state for so much time, it's hard. It's really, really, really tiring. So yeah, this movie definitely presented some challenges. Honestly, the first movie as well. They both working with animatronics is just challenging, and in this space where the emotions are very charged, it's not easy, but the result's good. So yeah.
Interesting. Was there anything you have never done before in this franchise, both at the first and the second film?
Yes, but I'm not allowed to say.
Okay.
It's there's a few sequences of action where I did some stunts and some things happen that I'd never done before. And it turned out really great. It looks really good.
Okay, it's great to know because you actually have done a lot of action in your films before.
Yeah, there's a few cool
Uh,
things that I knew, very new things for sure.
what was your research process like to dive into this already established universe? Were you already familiar with the game? Had you played it or know the source material before?
Not really, no. I tried playing the game twice and didn't do very well, so I didn't play it anymore. And for the world, it's complicated because like when we're like building Mike and understanding who he is and his backstory and everything, there's so much information online of like different fan theories and books and lore and all of those things. And I just want to follow whatever Scott and Emma tell me, because Scott being the game creator and the world creator and Emma our director. So I didn't do a deep dive into like the lore and everything. However, Piper who plays Abby in the movie, she is like a FNAF super fan, and McKenna Grace as well. And so they like they know everything. Like every time I'm with Piper, she's like, "Oh, and did you know that in the version called Sister Location that when Fanatic," and I'm just like, "Piper, I love you. I have no idea what you're talking about." But she's like super deep in it.
Great. And you have already been like in their places, Piper and McKenna. You already been a child in this universe of acting. Is there something that you could learn from them?
I think that what I learned from them is like the excitement, you know? Like I think that seeing Piper and McKenna as well, there's just such an like a genuine excitement for the work and being there on set and like the curiosity. They're not jaded, especially Piper because she's younger. And she just wants to be there and have fun making it. And that's something that I have to remind myself to do because sometimes it gets stressful. It's a job and it's long hours, and I've been doing it for 24 years. So, you know, you can kind of be like sometimes exhausted. But Piper makes me remember the joy that's inside of it.
Good to know. Many fans grew up with you following your career in other roles. Now, the same generation is seeing you in a darker space, a darker movie. What do
Yeah.
you think they will discover that's new about Josh Hutcherson through Mike?
I think it's just that. I think it's the darkness. You know, I think that I've kind of been known over the years for being the good guy in the good world and, you know, whatever. And Mike is still a good guy, but there's just like a bit of a more psychological turmoil, I think, that he's going through. So I think they might see us that side of me. And also like weirdly kind of like a father figure. I haven't really done that before. As Abby's older brother, but we don't have our parents around, you know, I'm her father basically. And so kind of seeing me take on a bit of a father figure as well, which is kind of crazy, but also like it's just like a new thing that fans can see that I haven't really done before.
Great. Your Brazilian fans are incredible, loyal. Many have followed you since you were just a little boy. If you could send a message to these Brazilian fans that grew up with you, what would you say about the version of Josh Hutcherson that we'll find now?
I mean, first of all, I would say thank you to my Brazilian fans. Like I've known over the years, I've seen you guys, you're so passionate. And you know, I love how the passion that I feel from Brazil as a country is, I literally on my refrigerator right now, I have an I Heart Rio magnet on my refrigerator that I got in Rio. I think Brazil is amazing. So my Brazilian fans are the best. And you know, I think that for me, just Mike is another step in my career and like following me on this journey into something that is more dark, that is more intense. Just come along for the ride. We'll do nice stuff as well, but you know, come along this dark ride with me.
Great. Last but not least, because our time is running out, would you rather spend 5 nights at Freddy's or 5 nights in the Hunger Games arena?
Both are gonna end badly. Both are gonna end badly. I think I'd rather go 5 nights in the Hunger Games arena.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. Because like, I don't know, at least you're outdoors, you're in nature. You don't have like animatronics, like scary, creepy animatronics. They're humans. No, both are bad. There's no right answer to this. Both are terrible.
Thank you so much for your time. And I know you have been here in Brazil on vacation. I hope you come back, maybe shoot something
I would love
here.
I would love to come back. I love Brazil.
Ninguém vem aqui há décadas. Uma garotinha foi assassinada aqui.
So, the first film was a phenomenon, the highest horror movie of 2023. Fans love it. How did you work to make sure the sequel would still hook the audience and also new fans?
I think a sequel film has a lot of expectations of a bigger world, a more expanded universe. And I think we really delivered on that. So I hope that it hits the mark for the folks that were already fans of the first movie and the franchise, but also draws in some other people who are like, really seeing so many animatronics and so much action and so many scares for the first time and feeling drawn to that.
Why do you think this story remains relevant even after about 10 years since audience first discovered it?
Such a great question. And, I'm not sure if I know the answer, but it's so special that people who first played the game 10 years ago, who are now much older, are as, enthusiastic still as like the young 10-year-old kids that are learning about the franchise for the first time now and becoming huge fans. There's like this intergenerational thing that happens with Five Nights at Freddy's that is so rare. For me, because I'm on the older side of that spectrum, the franchise taps into a nostalgia of these entertainment pizzerias that I grew up going to and feeling both really excited by and scared by. And I think there's something that maybe just like hits a chord with lots of generations about that mix of something that's entertaining and exciting and weird and also terrifying in the shadows. And maybe that's part of it. I also think that the fan base talks to each other so much, and there's so much theorizing that it's hard to ignore that part of it. It's a big community, and the theories are so interesting, and it's ever evolving. So I think that keeps people engaged with it.
Great. Thinking of that, was there any feedback you received or read about the first film that made you want to change something for the second one?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were already pushing the sequel into a darker, scarier zone, just tonally, but there were definitely, some horror fans that were wanting more in a sequel. So I think we deliver on that.
I think this has been a great year for horror. We had amazing movies, many sequels, a lot of original stories. How do you think Five Nights at Freddy's stand out in that landscape, especially considering it was already a box office hit before?
To me, Five Nights at Freddy's doesn't feel like anything else. It's really this genre mashup that is so unique, and then of course the fan base doesn't feel like anything else either. So it's kind of hard to compare it. It's coming at the end of the year. I hope it's just like everything that everyone wanted from it and then some. Like I really think we have some amazing surprises in there for everybody, but also the familiarity that they know and love from being fans. And I also hope for the people who wander in not knowing anything about it, that they just like really enjoy it, because it's I think it's got such incredible performances from the cast, such incredible animatronics from Jim Henson's Creature Shop, and then like is really a thrill ride. Like it takes you on a journey that is so fun and exciting. So I really think there's something in there for everyone.
Impossível isso aí funcionar.